And we're off. All right, check this video here. Hi, my name is Evan. I'm the community manager for Pursuitery.com. Thank you all for joining us today. Very excited to be here. Today we're going to introduce our first challenge for coding with Scratch, the chasing game. This is the first of 5 coding with Scratch challenges offered by Pursuitery. Once you complete all 5 challenges, you'll get a Scratch Ninja Digital badge. If you have any questions, we'll answer them at the end of the Geek Out today. We're going to have a long Q&A session. You can tweet them to us using the hashtag #CodingWithScratch. That's Coding with Scratch. So let me just open this video here. All right. So today's Geek Out is a brief introduction to both Scratch and our challenge. It's going to be very quick. We're going to break down what you need to participate, how to submit challenges, and how to get help. Please remember we have a Hints Geek Out tomorrow. We have 3 Geek Outs a week, and on Tuesdays we hold a Hints Geek Out, and a Show and Tell Geek Out on Friday, where you show off your work. So first off, to participate in Coding with Scratch, which is where we will be playing with the Scratch visual language at scratch.mit.edu, you'll need to have a Scratch account. So sign up for that at scratch.mit.edu. You'll also need to join Pursuitery.com. Now, the first challenge is going to be the chasing game. And you join Pursuitery really quickly. It takes a couple of seconds. Again, that's Pursuitery.com. And you get over to the main page, and you'll see the chasing game challenge for Coding with Scratch. To join this challenge, you click Participate on Coding with Scratch Chasing Game Challenge, and make sure you're logged in. All right, so when you're logged in and you're ready to go, you'll then see a Submit Challenge button. Hello. Congratulations, you are the first participants, the live participants in the Coding with Scratch Challenge. My name's Evan Jones. I'm just introducing everything. We were explaining how to log in and participate, and from all of us here at Pursuitery.com, we'd like to welcome you. So, everybody lean in and wave. Already feeling that much better. The Pursuitery team welcomes all of you who are joining us on the Geek Out, and we thank you for sticking with us. We were fixing some technical challenges to make sure everything worked out. As you can see, I also didn't get the time to turn on my enhance effects, so I don't get that full movie star luster you've come to expect from us here at Pursuitery.com, but we think the world of you regardless. So we were mentioning that to take part in the challenge, you'll need to have a Scratch account, which is available at scratch.mit.edu. It's free to sign up. It takes a couple of seconds. It's very quick and very fast. And you'll also need to join Pursuitery.com and have an account there. Now, when it comes to joining the first challenge, the chasing game, on Pursuitery, you'll see the listings for all the challenges, and the very first one that we have available for the Coding with Scratch Summer Challenge is going to be the chasing game. You'll log in, and you'll click Participate, which is going to be in the upper right-hand corner. And it's very important you be logged in. A lot of people will ask us, oh, I can't get it to work. It's because you need to just log in. It's very quickly. After you're logged in, you'll see a Submit Challenge button. It's a big red button, yes? It's a big red button, and you'll know when you're logged in because you can scroll up and see a big red button, again, big and red. It says Submit Challenge. If you click on that, you'll be able to submit a link to your Scratch entry. The deadline for this entry, now we have 2 important things happening here. So the deadline for self-paced entries, and self-paced means any time you can submit any time until July 20th. Anytime until the end of July 20th. So 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on July 20th. Any of those 5 challenges you can submit. When you submit all 5, you'll be receiving a Scratch Ninja Digital badge. But if you submit by the end of this week, on Sunday, June 22nd, by 11:59 Pacific Daylight Time, you will be eligible. Very proud to announce this. Oohs and ahs, everybody. More oohs and ahs. Okay, we're broadcasting here. Calm down. You will be eligible to win a Makey Makey. The Makey Makey is a great tool. It's a lot of fun. Basically, it allows you to run Scratch projects from things, well, from anything. It's a cool little bouncer. Plugs right on your computer. Works with Mac, works with Windows and works with Linux for those of you who are Linux users. You have your alligator clips here. You have your USB cables. But we're proud to have a contest going on every week for entries, and the award will be a makey makey. So again, oohs and ahs, people. Okay, very good. You can see the team's excited this morning. So again, the rules for those entries are, if you're taking place and you just want to get a badge, you have, starting now, until July 20th to get all of your challenges in via Pursuitery.com. So you're going to take your challenges from your Scratch Studio, and you'll just submit them on the website to Pursuitery after you log in. Now, if you're going for the makey gold here, if you're making a play for greatness, if you want to understand why I sit around and play with this thing in the evenings and turn bananas into pianos, I'm not kidding. You have to submit for Challenge 1, Sunday, June 22nd, by 11:59 PDT, because we're in California, and there you go. So that's the submission guidelines. Just to remind all of you who are joining live, you can tweet us questions with the hashtag #CodingWithScratch. We're going to do a Q&A at the end of this. I'm just going to read through some more stuff here. And you will also do a live Q&A, so for everybody who's participating today, we'll talk to you in a bit. So another important note that, our whole thing here is to have fun, is to enjoy it, is to work with Scratch. It's a lot of fun. It's really simple to get started with, and you can do some pretty complex and cool things with it. But let's say if you want to edit your challenge, or you've gone back and worked with it a little bit, and you got your initial submission, but you say, hey, I can make that better. Something you can do is you can actually go back into your challenge, and you can resubmit it on the same challenge page. So if you need to edit your submission, you can go back to the challenge page, and you click Edit Your Submission to update the listing with the new Scratch URL. That's if you want to update your stuff. And again, the same timelines applies. But it's something where, these are live challenges, and you can have fun with them, and your Scratch Studio is your own, and you can keep working and working with it, and there you go. Now, one really great thing about this project is that we have a lot of very talented and very amazing coaches and people who are helping out to teach Scratch alongside us. It's a big collaborative effort. We're very excited. We have people from almost all over the world signing up to just basically teach the joy of messing around with visual programming. And as far as getting help goes, if you visit the Scratch Studio for Challenge 1, you can leave comments or questions for coaches. Also note, as I mentioned earlier, we have 3 Geek Outs every week. On Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Now this is all listed on Pursuitery.com, so you can go in there and sign up and get them listed. If you can't participate, like the good people here, you can always watch the live stream on the page. Those live streams are going to be there, and also, more importantly, those videos will be embedded. So right now I'm wishing I had worn a slightly nicer shirt because this will be here for the ages, but these videos are going to be available all the time. Now, that's the hints side of it. Now, for getting help with your projects that already exist, if you're not sure about everything, don't worry. The whole idea is to get comfortable with Scratch. But visit the Scratch Studio for Challenge 1, which is listed on the challenge page, and you can see comments for coaches there. We'll be increasing the amount of availability we have for help very soon, but that's the very first place to start. And again, remember, we'll be having a Hints Geek Out tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So moving on into the actual challenge itself, and then we'll look at questions and answers. Again, if you're watching this live via the internet, we welcome your questions using the hashtag #CodingWithScratch. And if you'd like to follow us, we are at Pursuitery. So for Challenge 1, the chasing game, the challenge is designed to introduce key ideas in games and how to use them in Scratch. We have a pretty thorough video available on the challenge page itself. It breaks down some of the basic tools and how to get started. You can watch that. It's got full screen on it. You can see exactly what we did to get a very basic game going. And they'll get you started on the basics of the challenge, and you can go from there. There are 3 steps to this challenge. You're supposed to create one player who is controlled by you via the arrow keys. All right? So use the arrow keys to move your player around the Scratch field. The second part of the challenge is creating a second player. And by second player, we mean Awesome Robot, artificial intelligence-powered robot who's controlled by the computer and chases the first player. So you're going to pass instructions on how this robot will automatically chase you. You are creating your own enemy and giving it artificial intelligence. You are creating your own cyber monster. So, and the third part of this is when the first player gets caught, you're going to announce the end of the game. These are the very basic parts of this challenge. You can do all kinds of crazy great stuff with it. We're going to have, again, the video is on the chasing game page itself. And if you check out hints, we can show more and more and more. There's tons of stuff to do in terms of bonuses. And when we start talking about extras, you can do things like adding sounds, really cool backgrounds. You can add scores, you can add features, you can add text. And basically, once you've got those 3 challenges fulfilled, you're on. So as far as submitting your project goes, I want to remind everybody of the steps one more time before we get into Q&A. After going to Pursuitery.com and clicking Participate, again, you have to be logged in, you can submit your project. In order to get feedback on your project and be eligible to earn the digital badge, you submit the link to your project by clicking on the big red Submit button in the upper right on the page. That's on Pursuitery.com's challenges. This button will appear after you enter the challenge, so make sure you log into Pursuitery and have an account and log in there, and then that's where you'll submit your URL for your Scratch work. That's the basics of it, and remember that if you submit by the end of this week, by the challenge cutoff date listed on the page, you will be eligible for the Makey Makey. Oohs and ahs? Thank you so much. You're getting outshone by the people on the internet, man. I thought my team was going to be louder, but you'll be eligible for the Makey Makey, which is a ton of fun. I have one of these myself, and I swear by them. And if you submit by the end of the session 5, which will be July 20th, with the other 4 submissions for the challenge, you will be receiving a Scratch Digital Ninja badge. And so that is the introduction to Scratch. We're very, very excited about this. I'm going to go transfer into question and answers now. And please remember to visit Pursuitery.com and look at all the listings. You can sign up to participate on some of the live geekouts. I know we have some spots left. Again, the response has been tremendous and overwhelming, and we're so excited about it. Trust me. You can also always tweet us with questions at Coding with Scratch for the geekouts, and we're going to be continually improving our systems and getting back to people. But tomorrow is going to be our Hints Geek Out. So if you start today, and you'll be surprised how fast you can go and how addictive it is, you can come back tomorrow, and we're going to answer some questions on air. We're going to give you some guides and some tips, and we can offer up some more links and some more ideas. But with that said, I'd like to go ahead and take a breather here and then transfer into questions and answers. So let me pull up the Twitter feed and get a little taste of coffee. Thank you so very much. I'd like to give a warm special shout out to our team today. We have a special summer youth ambassador, Mickey's joining us. So first day, she's already jumping in on the geek outs. So looking through some of the Coding with Scratch challenges. For people who have issues on getting in, you should be able to rejoin. I'd actually like to turn over to the live floor as well. If you're in the Geek Out live and you have any questions, please feel free to. You can ask them via voice, or you can enter them into the chat, which will be on the left side of your screen. Hopefully, I'm pointing to the left side of my screen. My left. So, can I help anybody with any questions? And please, again, if you're watching on the live feed, just use the hashtag Coding with Scratch, and we'll answer any questions that you have. Oh, very good. We got a fill up there. Coming first from Tim Chan. Hello, Tim. Can you describe what that Makey Makey thing is? Well, let me go ahead and pull up the website. I'm going to mute myself so you don't listen to the dulcet tones of my typing. right, so here's the Makey link. And that has a pretty thorough breakdown of how it works. Makey is basically an invention kit. It takes everyday simple objects and you connect them to touchpads and then you ground yourself with it. And then you can use the Makey as a controller. This works via alligator clips attached to the board, and then you connect it to your USB, to your computer via USB. Again, it works with both Windows, Mac, and Linux for Linux users. I see you, Victor. I know you're using Linux. I know you love it. And basically, it's just a really cool invention kit. And if you look at that webpage, which is makey.com, makey.com, you can see a list of breakdowns on there. It works with anything that can conduct a tiny bit of electricity. Literally, there have been Hi! It works with things like, and I'm not kidding, bananas, ketchup, finger paint, lemons, silverware, plants, coins, people, most foods, aluminum foil. There's all kinds of great examples of it. And basically, Makey is a really cool tool, and it works very easily with Scratch. It's simple to mount. It can be used for a simple control with that. So if you want to actually turn your Scratch game into something where your chasing game into something where you are dancing around, say like Dance Dance Revolution, you can do that with a Makey. And we're very proud to give those away. So Tim, I hope that answers your question. Again, you can check out the website, makey.com. And looking at the next question here from Stephanie Langford. Hey, Stephanie. You don't have any questions yet, but you will when she gets started, and that's a good lead-in to the reminder that tomorrow we're going to be doing a Hints Geek Out at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So if you're in California, it's going to be 10 a.m., and you may want to check your local listings because that's going to vary because, the sun. And actually, if you visit that page now, you can start working today. And again, you'll move pretty fast with this. I think it's very simple to explain, but then you get it more and more fun as time goes on. If you look at the hints page today for that Geek Out, we actually do have a video live for that there that explains some of the more advanced concepts and some of the stuff we'll be doing. You can add scores, backgrounds. I was working this weekend to make a game that has actual sprites from a popular video game, which is something you can do. And the hints will give you a really solid start on that. So if anybody has any more questions, let's continue. Let me check the Twitter feed here. Can somebody... Oh, sorry. It's a couple of us fighting over one computer. Michael Rappaport was asking, watching the tutorial video is the first step. That is the first suggested step by looking at the challenge intro, Micah. You can see a breakdown of the process, and again, all the steps that we mentioned here are going to be listed there. Like you get your Scratch account, you get your Pursuitery account, and then it shows you how to create the basics of the chase game. So that should help you out with that one, Mike. And again, if you have any questions, you can go to the Scratch Studio, which is linked again from the Chase Game Challenge page, and you can start submitting questions there. And we also have the Hints Geek Out on Tuesday, as well as, here's the one you should probably be interested in. Well, you should be interested in every single one of these Geek Outs, all of them. Why not? The big one on Friday will be our show and tell, so when people have their completed games in, and I'm happy to announce that somebody already submitted a completed game this weekend, and it was really fun. So, I forgot the user's name, but I want to say Bacon Party, but they submitted a game that had like ghost trail images. It was great. They're already way, way, way better than I was. But on Friday, we're having a show and tell, and you can participate in the Geek Out, or you can always, again, tweet using Coding with Scratch, including a link to your project, and we'll talk about it. So, any other questions? Da 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 da. Of course, we're very happy to help. We're very excited about it. We should mention that we've had an unbelievable showing of support over the past few days. We'd like to thank everybody that signed up. We'd like to thank our partners at MIT. We'd like to thank our partners at Connected Learning. Every single one of you has given us an email, and we're so excited. Valentina, I'm expecting an avalanche of questions. I'm prepared for an avalanche of questions. I've been doing a significant amount of push-ups. We all wake up in the morning and we go jogging together. We've been practicing our war faces, and by that I mean coding faces, and we're very excited about it. Tim, if you have any questions, we specifically regarding this challenge, you can, if you look at the challenge page, there will be a link to the Chasing Game Studio on Scratch, and you can enter questions there for the coaches. You can also hashtag them in the Twitter feed, but the fastest way to get help from a coach would be going over to the Chasing Game Studio. Oh, look, there's already pictures of me on Twitter. Oh, that's awesome for you. This angle's wrong. I look so much better than this. But there we go. And again, if I can answer any questions, we have a few more minutes on the Geek Out. Please feel free to answer them here. And if you're listening or watching the page, watching the broadcast on the page, by the way, these broadcasts will be embedded on each of the Geek Out and the Challenge pages in each of the Geek Out pages, so you can go back and rewatch them, examine some of the questions, or check out some of the breakdowns. And again, you can always get at us via Coding with Scratch hashtag on Twitter. And if you have direct questions about the challenge, please go to the Challenge Studio, which is for this one on the Chasing Game, will be linked on the Chasing Game page, and that's where you can submit questions for coaches. Pardon me, another question from Twitter. Oh wow! Questions will roll in once we all get started. You will hear my cry. You will hear my cries of agony tonight. It won't be agony. It's fun. Trust me. I was going to make a little Hello World project, and I got caught up for hours of it. Thank you so much for joining, Valentina. We look forward to seeing you again. I like your avatar. I was trying to place it over the weekend. I was thinking I couldn't get the title of it, but I think it's very nice. And Becky, who wrote in via Twitter, it will not be agony, it'll be cries of joy because you're creating and having fun with coding. Trust me, it's way more addictive than I want to let on. I don't want to tell you all that I woke up on Saturday morning and spent a lot of time messing around with cartoon characters on Scratch, but I woke up on Saturday morning and spent a lot of time messing around with cartoon characters on Scratch. So with that said, let's hit the 5-minute warning mark for final rounds of questions. Again, if there's anything I can clarify for anybody, all the information will be listed on the challenges on the front page of Pursuitery.com. If anybody has general questions about the Coding with Scratch program, we're also running a program with Phonar Nation, and you can visit summer.pursuitery.com. And that'll have a breakdown there. And if anybody's interested in coaching, you can actually sign up to coach Scratch students and volunteer and help out with this international coding effort at summer.pursuitery.com as well. We're going to have a Scratch Coaches mailing list, and we've already received an absolutely amazing response to that. Okay, here's a good question on sprites. Tim was asking, is there a resource to get free sprites? We do have I don't think we've listed resources because there's actually a ton of them, but you can create your own. You can find them around as well. I actually would love to see some hand-drawn sprites. I don't know about you guys. I really like seeing the people create their own, but there's a guide to that. If you look at the hints video, we may have a guide for it already. All right, so calling around for final questions, 2-minute warning. If anybody has anything they'd like to ask us, you can hashtag it with Coding with Scratch, and we will answer in the Geek Out. And again, if you have more questions for coaches or pertain to a challenge itself, be sure to sign up on Pursuitery.com and get yourself a Scratch account, and you can enter today. And we're just going to wait out the last 2 minutes here, and hopefully everybody be good to go. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. Okay. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today and all for you watching live online. Again, this video will be embedded on the Challenge Intro Geek Out page on Pursuitery.com. Please get to the website, get yourself a Scratch account, and go ahead and jump in the game. And again, just want to note that if you enter the challenge by the end of this week, you will be eligible for a Makey Makey. So please do consider that. But if you do not get to enter the challenge by the end of this week, that's okay. You can still get all 5 of your challenges in by July 20th and be eligible, and you will receive a Scratch Ninja badge. So again, from all of us here at Pursuitery.com, thank you so very much for checking this out. We're very much looking forward to this summer. It's going to be a lot of fun. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. And again, you can visit summer.pursuitery.com for more information, and you can ask us questions via the Scratch coaching page on Scratch, and we're looking forward to you. We're looking forward to seeing all of you. Pardon me, I got choked up, a little nervous. Have a good one. Thank you so very much. We will be online for the Hints Geek Out tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and the Show and Tell Geek Out will be on Friday. Thank you so much. Have a good day.